big international story leading your bulletin this Wednesday. Nearly 8,000 people have now been confirmed dead following 2 earthquakes in Turkey and Syria. Rescuers are racing against the clock while battling heavy rainfall to assist survivors still trapped under the rubble.
Turkey has declared a state of emergency after the disaster struck both countries on Monday. Teams from South Africa, India, Germany and Taiwan are among those that have now arrived in Turkey to help with funds and relief supplies. So far, about 70 countries, 70, have pledged their support.
Both of our countries are working very hard to support Turkey and the Syrian people in their hour of need. We've deployed more than 150 search and rescue personnel. The U.S. Agency for International Development has been leading in this effort. In addition, through the humanitarian partners that we fund in Syria, we're providing assistance to people in Syria to try to recover from the earthquake. But I know both of our countries are focused on this human tragedy that's taking place right now in Turkey and Syria.
The UK has also sent a team of experts to help with humanitarian efforts.
This is obviously an incredibly tragic situation that we're all seeing in Turkey and Syria. I want everyone to know that we are doing what we can to provide support. We're in touch with the authorities in both Syria and Turkey, and specifically we are in the process of sending 77 search and rescue experts to Turkey. That's the most immediate need that they have communicated to us that we can help with, is providing help to them on the search and rescue side of it, where we do have people who are particularly experienced at that, and we'll be sending that support as quickly as possible.
Meanwhile, Turkey's ambassador to South Africa has also thanked the global community for their support. In fact, she was speaking as Gift of the Givers teams prepared to join the search and rescue mission in that country.
We have been receiving so many calls and so many donation campaigns, charity organizations organizing themselves. So it's not only search and rescue teams. We have been announcing everything, the channels through which they need to send all their help, let's say clothes and other stuff, and cash, for instance, through bank transfers. We have been announcing all this information on our social media accounts. Turkish Embassy in Pretoria has been announcing it on Facebook and Twitter accounts. The bank account numbers, all the information they need. And Turkish Airlines has been delivering all the aid, meaning materials, cargo, and the people, these teams, free of charge.
Now, at the same time, one South African who's living in Turkey has described the situation as volatile. Bongani Dlamini says everyone is worried that another earthquake might hit.
My Turkish friends have been telling me that there's an expected earthquake to take place in Istanbul, particularly where I am. Same kind of incident that took place in these areas. The first one that happened in Istanbul was back in 1999, and it was quite huge, bigger in scale, I believe, than the ones that took place. So, given that the fact that these have happened, now the people that are around me are scared that it might happen to Istanbul. And Istanbul, like I pointed out, is quite susceptible to these. So I'm scared as well. Everyone is scared around us, around me, and in this area. I'm thinking of leaving, but it's not easy. I saw just yesterday how packed the airport was, so I imagine the logistics of trying to leave would not be.
Well, let's stay with the story now. Our reporter Ahmed Kajee joins us from Istanbul Airport this morning. Ahmed, great to see you and that you've arrived safely. What can you tell us about the trip so far?
Thanks very much, Michelle. We had left around 8 p.m. local time back in South Africa last night. Had landed around 6 a.m. Istanbul time. We currently have been joined by the Cape Town Gift of the Givers team as well. They have been joining us and have waited for us actually out here at the Istanbul airport. Just behind me, out in the yellow outfits, that is a team out from one of the Asian countries. They have come through with quite a big contingent of the search and rescue operations teams as well. As we just heard earlier, that is some of the key requirements coming through from the Turkish government, saying that the more important part over the next 24 to 48 hours or so will be search and rescue officials. That's just the golden window which we normally have situations such as this one, more often than not during a disaster situation such as the one which we have seen with 2 more than 7.6 and 7.7 magnitude earthquakes. Those first 72 hours are exceptionally important when it comes to actually getting survivors. Unfortunately, thereafter it becomes a search and recovery operation as well. Just to take you through some of those figures and just to show the magnitude of what actually has taken place, we went through from just over 600 official deaths yesterday morning when we had, on Monday morning rather, when we had found out that this earthquake had struck the area around the Syrian and Turkish borders, up to more than 8,000 across both those countries. We do understand that within that 4 to 8 hour period, the number of casualties from an event such as this one has shown that an exponential number to increase in terms of the casualties coming through as well. In terms of what we are seeing over here and the response coming through from various organizations, there is at least 16,000 workers on the ground as we speak in and around the area where there is the disaster relief taking place as well. That's some of the information we are finding out as well. From a Turkish Airlines point of view, we actually had flown in on specialized on that aircraft coming through, leaving at 8 p.m. South African time from Johannesburg. They actually have offered return tickets free of charge to many of the residents in Turkey right through until Sunday from the affected areas. So that's coming through from the aviation sector. They have also laid in their means of operations to just ensure that they can assist in whatever way they can. From an international point of view, we have seen perhaps the Egyptian president, the German leadership, as well as the leadership from the Armenian government calling the president of Turkey to actually share their condolences as well. Inshallah, I'm going to have to leave it there as we currently have to make our way with the rest of the rescue teams. We will then touch a bit later on.
Ahmed, take care and stay safe, and we'll talk to you as soon as you can. Ahmed Kajee live to us there from the airport in Istanbul, having just arrived in that country after leaving South Africa at around 8 o'clock last night. As you can hear from what he's saying, it is a race against the clock now to still try and rescue people who are stuck under the rubble. After that 72-hour period has lapsed, it then becomes a search and recovery operation. We'll touch base with Ahmed just as soon as we can.